I wish I need like an adapter.
You're gonna be the screen for me? We have a house. So it is Thursday, April 1st. We just pulled up to the house, so we close April 5th. We are having our final inspection right now, so feeling pretty good, not too nervous. How do you feel? Thumbs up, we're feeling good. Yeah, we're just a little early, so actually I guess we'll just go in now since the inspector's usually always there early. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel concerned or anything. I feel really confident, and so far everything's gone really well. So we're just one day closer though, one step closer to actually calling this place home, which is so exciting. Any thoughts, babe? Woo! All right, here we go. Ooh, fancy. Go to the bedroom, take some measurements. Gotta figure out a better way to have those, but I was in here earlier measuring a desk that I'm thinking about putting in here. It would literally fit perfectly. It's just a matter of how it'll fit so it's not too tight here. So I'm gonna clearly use this bathroom. Hey, hello, hi. Got my mask on, which is also probably why I sound this bathroom. Oh right, the light's on I think the outside. Oops. Okay, so we just got done with the final inspection. It went so well. I think, again, we already were kind of feeling pretty good and positive going into it, but it was just amazing hearing actually from the inspector that everything was done and done correctly. There were some like super small minor things that are really not a concern whatsoever. So, I feel like such a breath of fresh air at this point. It really is just a matter of like waiting to actually close, waiting until the day that now we have to go pick up the check and all that stuff, but feeling good. Okay, so Josh and I are currently at the house. We just walked over here from our place, and first of all, it's just been so fun being able to walk over here. Like literally since the day we put in an offer, when the weather's really nice, we just walk over here because it's so close, and we've just had such a great experience like meeting our neighbors and stuff like that. But it is Saturday, April 3rd, so we are supposed to close on Monday, which is crazy, literally in 48 hours. But we did get a call from our real estate agent yesterday who basically just informed us that, so one of the biggest issues that the house had after we got the sewer scope and inspection done was the sewer line was compromised. So this is the current state of the backyard. So right there is where they like actually went in. It was really funny. I'll add a picture of how it looked one day when we walked over and they were in the process of actually like tearing up the yard to get to the sewer line. But yeah, this is how the sewer line's currently, or the backyard's currently looking, and definitely excited to get in and start making this look a lot better than how it currently is. So luckily we were able to negotiate that with the seller for the seller to actually go in and pay for it to get fixed, which so grateful for because we did get a copy of the invoice and it was quite a bit of money. So very thankful that they took care of that. But a real estate agent found out yesterday from like doing a bit more research and talking to the seller's agent that the sewer line is compromised on the city side. So even though they went in and fixed what was, you know, wrong for the house itself, the city line is actually also like, it also has a bunch of issues too. So that's kind of an issue because we have no idea when the city is going to be taking care of that, and that's really important. Again, our real estate agent is absolutely amazing, and we really just appreciate the fact that she actually did more research, and you know, she was like, although it might have to set closing date potentially back a little bit, she's like, I want you guys to like get into that house and feel really confident about everything. You know, she's like, my biggest concern is like those toilets in there haven't been getting flushed because no one's lived in here. It's just been in the process of renovation over the past like year or so. And so we could potentially have some like major issues later on. And then if we do, it's like the seller, it's just not their responsibility. And again, dealing with the city can kind of be a lot sometimes. So we might potentially have to close a little bit later than what we expected, which again was on Monday. But I mean, we still just feel really good. Like that's the only thing we ran into. Again, we had the inspection. The inspection went amazingly. Like they fixed everything and they fixed everything really well. So this is like, again, potentially a minor setback really, but we're still very hopeful. We'll get a call hopefully around like 10 a.m. Monday morning to actually get an idea of whether or not we'll be able to close that that day, or if not, when the city will be able to come out and actually fix it so we can get an idea of when we will be closing. But it was actually really funny too. While we were sitting here, someone drove by and stopped, and he was like, did you guys buy this house? And we're like, yeah. And he was like, so I'm actually your neighbor. I live like right behind you. And he just was like, if you need anything, like let me know. And it was just really sweet, him taking the time to stop. And he was like, I know, like I've seen pictures and everything. I know they redid the inside. It looks really amazing. And I don't know, we just feel so incredibly blessed to be in a neighborhood with neighbors and people who, even just from us walking here, like every so often, every couple days or even if it's just like one day a week, we've run into people, and all our experiences have just been so incredible, like just so positive and engaging. And yeah, earlier we actually ended up running into another neighbor right down the street. He stopped us and he was like, where do you guys live? Did you guys buy a house? And got to talking to him and the woman who had initially stopped us the day we put in an offer. They're actually like best friends. And he's like, oh, like she's told me about you guys. She actually tried to go over there and like invite you guys because we were having like a dinner. We were like, that's literally the sweetest thing ever. I was like, we don't live there yet, so that's probably why she couldn't get a hold of us, because like no one lives in here. He told us that he's a pastor of like a local church, and he actually like let us in his home. He's like, why don't you guys just come in for a second? So he was like showing us around a little bit, and he was like, we'd love to have you guys over soon, like just let us know. So yeah, again, just so many reasons. There have just been so many kind of crazy, like they definitely seem like just coincidences, but I think are clearly just signs from God that have just been like, no, like this is the right place. And that's something that I constantly prayed for throughout this whole process. And from the very beginning, the day we saw it, that I was like, we love this house. The day we put in an offer, it was just like, you know, I pray that God would make it very clear whether or not this is supposed to be our home. And I just feel like time and time again, through so many different crazy weird things, that he's just again made it very apparent that like this is meant to be our home in so many ways. It's honestly wild. And again, meeting him today, supposed to be closing like this upcoming week, it just all kind of continues to be kind of full circle, which is so cool. So yeah, we're currently here. We're actually just currently sitting on the porch, kind of hanging out. But yeah, definitely will keep you guys updated to see how things go, and I'll check back in on Monday. Okay, so it is Monday, April 5th. It is what's supposed to be closing day, but unfortunately we are not going to be closing on the home today. We just got a call from our real estate agent letting us know that we're still basically trying to get answers from the city. We're actually now trying to find whose responsibility really it is to get this issue fixed. Is it the seller's responsibility or is it the city's responsibility? And then kind of from there, like obviously how it's going to get taken care of. So we set back closing till Friday now of this week as opposed to today, and that was just mainly, again, like our real estate agent was just like, I don't want to be every day trying to figure out and like pushing it back, so let's just say Friday now. We're definitely not closing today. So I don't know, it's just being in a situation where it's like obviously we have absolutely no control, we have no idea what's going to happen, is really hard and frustrating, I guess. I don't know, frustration really isn't how I feel. Like I don't feel frustrated. I think it's just kind of like a little anxious, just not really having answers yet, not really having any confirmation either. Like if it does end up falling back on the seller, like if the city is like, no, we're not going to pay for this, and the seller is like, no, we're not going to pay for this either, like we've already invested a decent amount of money into getting it fixed, like that's where the problem really arises, if you will, and where it's just we really have to reevaluate and figure out everything and where it could potentially be a problem. So yeah, hoping that we get more clarity obviously during the week so that we can actually close on Friday, because obviously even saying that we're closing on Friday, it still could of course change. So hoping that that's still the case. But again, just really glad that we caught this now and we're getting answers now, as opposed to just going into it and then later finding out that like there's still a decent amount of fixing this specific like thing needs. So yeah, who knew that sewers, you know, especially in older houses, were gonna be such a pain and so expensive to deal with. But I don't know, I'm still feeling pretty hopeful, and just again, throughout the whole process, I feel like God has definitely been a part of every step of the way. And even when we thought, you know, like worst case scenario, it's not the worst, but like still not great, you know, everything ended up working out. So I definitely have faith that things will work out the way that they should and that God intends. So we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, so kind of a major update. So I was just texting our real estate agent because she was like, hey, you know, we were kind of texting a little bit back and forth this morning. And that's kind of how I knew like the update and everything with closing on Friday. And so I just was like, yeah, you know, I'm really glad that we caught this now. you know, I'd much rather know this information obviously than later. And she was like, yeah, I just sent you an email and everything about, you know, final steps in closing now with the updated date of this Friday. And so I'm like, yeah, totally got it. You know, obviously I'm feeling a little anxious though, you know, if the city ends up coming back saying, well, you know, it's the seller's responsibility, like what if the seller doesn't want to pay for it? And she's like, oh, the seller's gonna pay for it. And I was like, whoa, wait, what? And she's like, oh yeah, I've already talked to them. Like we have a very clear understanding already. Like if the seller's gonna have to pay for, like they're gonna pay for it. Like it's not at all gonna be our responsibility. So I was like, oh my goodness, literally a huge weight lifted off my shoulders because I was thinking we're gonna have to pay for it. And she was like, oh no, he will, I know that. And I'm just like, oh. So yeah, I was like, oh really? And she goes, yeah, we've already chatted about that. And I was like, oh, thank God, because obviously this whole thing, like our only concern was that we were gonna then have to pay, and then if we did, depending on how much it would cost, like we would have to potentially back out still, even though we're literally so close to getting this house. So she said, yeah, it's on him or the city. Everyone is on the same page between him and I. It's the city who was debating what portion with him. And so I was like, oh my goodness, like such a huge weight just like lifted off my shoulders, like lifted off our shoulders. Now we are not stressing about this because we were just talking about what we're gonna do if they're not willing to pay for it. So she was like, of course, I got you. And I'm like literally so thankful for our list agent. She truly is like a godsend, like absolutely amazing. So feeling so much better already and so excited again and not stressed because I was starting to get really anxious. So thought I would update you on that because that is a really big deal, because I know I just explained the fact that we were trying to figure out, you know, we would potentially have to reevaluate. So regardless, the seller is going to pay for it. So I feel so happy now. Oh man. You guys. Okay, it is officially closing day. It feels so weird even just saying that out loud. Like this whole morning, Josh and I have just been like, we're buying a house today. Like that's crazy. We're actually buying a house. So I want to update you guys too on the conversation I had with the plumber. Was able to answer all my questions, was super great and easy. He basically just said though, the only thing is that there is a retaining wall that they kind of like have to have access to. And because it is leaning and the work that they're going to be doing like with an excavator and everything, that it could potentially fall over. And so that is obviously an expense that we would have to deal with. And it could be like a lot of money, like it could be thousands of dollars. But again, he was like, our aim is not to obviously like actually damage it. Like our aim is never to damage property. It's just like a possibility. So it's not really worth stressing until we actually get to that point. They're not actually able to do the work for a couple more weeks. So it's kind of like, we'll get there when we get there. Talk to our real estate agent. She just was kind of like, yeah, I mean, it could happen. Like that's not really something that we can really foresee, but I do actually like, we could definitely say it will happen, but I do actually want to get quotes. So maybe sometime next week, have someone come in who could potentially either reinforce the wall so that there's no way basically it could fall, or if it does, you know, like get an estimate to see how much it would cost. But other than that, honestly, everything else is great. Like we were able to negotiate with the seller. Not only are they paying obviously for this work, but there is like thousands and thousands of dollars that will be in holding just in case like what they were estimating how much it was going to cost is actually going to be more than how much it's worth. So even though they're like, okay, this is the estimate, if it costs a couple $1,000s more, that's still money that doesn't come out of our pocket, because again, the seller has money in holding to cover extra expenses, which is like amazing. So I am like kind of shaking because it still feels so unreal, this whole thing. It's like felt like a really long time, but it's also happened so fast. It's so interesting how that works. But I'm on my way to go to the bank to pick up the check to bring to closing. And yeah, I did my hair a little bit this morning, showered, washed it, straightened it and like blow dried it. And I'm gonna come back and like do my makeup and change. But yeah, I'm just running to the bank this morning to get that check. And then yeah, we close in like 4 hours. It's so crazy again how just this whole thing works, and it's insane. But I'm excited to take you guys along with us for the day and close on our house. Like so crazy. Look what I have. So I just ran in, got the check, super easy. Maybe took like 10-15 minutes. I was a little nervous though, because so I wanted to make sure I put something in the memo line just to be safe. Like the attendant who was helping me had already like went through and actually put in everything, and I was like, oh wait, did you put anything in the memo line? Can we add that now? And he just was like, oh no, we don't have to put anything in the memo line. And I was kind of like, oh, I actually wanted to specifically put like we were closing on like our specific house, like our address in the memo line. sign, which I know I probably don't have to, but I just was like, I just want to be safe and make sure that that's on there. So we ended up having to cancel it and redo it, but it wasn't a big deal. And I kept being like, I'm sorry, like I should have told you earlier. And he's like, no, it's okay. Like it's totally fine. It's not a big deal. So, but he was joking because he was like, actually, I almost got so nervous that this was the last cashier's check because he was like, my manager's out of town. Like the other manager has the key. Like they're not here right now. And you would like, he's like, I didn't want to have to like send you on like a wild goose chase to go to another bank to get a check. So it all ended up working out though, super easy. And he was really nice. And then I ended up stopping over at Whole Foods. It's literally right across the street from the bank, which is so nice. And I picked up a thank you card for our real estate agent. I'll show you when I get home, putting together like a little like kind of gift package for her because truly this whole experience would not have been so seamless, so enjoyable if it wasn't for her. Like I've just heard so many horror stories and she has just been so absolutely incredible and helpful, and she's gone to bat for us and negotiated for us. And so yeah, I want to do something a little special for her. So I'll show you guys that when we get home. But like it's the money coming out of the account for me. Like that really solidified like, wait, no, this is 100% real. Like this is really happening today. So I'm gonna go home. I basically took the day off because I mean, we have to leave around like 2:20 this afternoon anyway. So I was just kind of like, I'm just so excited and like, I know I'm not gonna be able to get any work done. So I want to finish doing up just some random things around the house. Obviously, again, I'm gonna change and do my makeup and stuff like that before we leave and make sure that I have everything before we go, because there were some things I wanted to like bring to the house, like a bottle of champagne and stuff like that. So other than that though, I'm so excited. Like I can't like, I don't know what else to say, and like I don't know how else to describe how I feel except for like ecstatic, excited. So yeah, let's head home, and then again I'll show you guys once we get there the little like care package that I'm putting together for a real estate agent. Okay, so this is what I ended up making as a gift to a real estate agent. It is blueberry coffee cake. It was my first time making it, but of course I had to try a piece and it's really, really good. So I just feel like baked goods are so, I don't know, personable to give to somebody as a gift. And if you follow me on Instagram, then you know how much I absolutely love baking. So I just decided to make her this. I asked her last week if there was anything that she didn't like or was allergic to, and she was like, no, I literally love everything. And I was like, woman after my own heart. So I made this, and I actually ended up buying plastic wrap specifically to wrap them, just so they're more like individualized and you can kind of see them. So I ended up kind of like folding them over like a gift at the bottom. And yeah, I just think that they're super cute. I usually am a huge fan of press and seal. That's literally like all I use. But I think, yeah, the plastic wrap actually worked really, really well to kind of, yeah, make it look a little bit more like a present. So I'm gonna show you guys actually how I wrapped it up as well.
Yeah. So dramatic.
We have a house. Oh my goodness. First time. We got mail. Obviously not showing.
No.
Two names. Oh yeah, we gotta get, oh, there's a doorbell. I wonder if it works. We should go inside and see.
This one.
I think so. Is it both?
Yeah.
Damn. You got it? We're homeowners. Oh, so sweet. What's that?
It's an Indianapolis coffee guide.
Oh, we love coffee. She's officially ours. So sweet. Hi.
Hello.
Calling you from the new house.
Hi.
Yes, we're inside.
Nice. So excited.
I know, it's so weird. I was like, it's also super echoey.
Yeah, sure. It's empty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But yeah,
I'm so excited for you guys.
I know. I like couldn't.
Closing and all that.
Yeah, it was super easy. No issues at all.
Yeah, by the time you get to that point, you've already done all the hard work.
Exactly, yeah, it was like super easy. It was actually really sweet. Laura left us a philodendron, like a really pretty plant. I'll send you a picture, and like a card, and then she sent us like a little booklet, and it's like a guide to like local like coffee places around Indy, and super cute. Yeah, we're homeowners. so wild.
You did. I'm so proud of you guys.
Thank ya. It still feels like, I was just telling Josh, like, it still feels so weird walking around and like walking in with no one else with us. Like,
I know.
just like, it's our house. Like, it feels like we're at an Airbnb. Like, it doesn't. He's currently moving the fridge.
That's what I said. I remember I said, ask Laura to plug it in.
Oh, yeah. She had already, literally, I was just talking to you and then she texted me like 2 minutes later and she was like, hey, I just left. So I was like, oh, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. But yeah, she left us a bottle of Prosecco too and a cute note.
Oh, I forget.
I know. You did actually scare me. Cheers, baby. Okay, so we just got back from eating out at one of our favorite places right down the street and celebrating, getting dinner there a little bit early because yes, we are officially homeowners. Literally still so wild and crazy, but obviously just so thrilled, and I'm really happy too because I just got an email about a potential collaboration. I had like reached out to them a little bit ago and they just got back to me like 5 minutes ago apologizing for kind of like their delay in my response, but that they would love to work together and help us like get together our outdoor area, so our patio set up for our new space. And I am just like seriously so amazing. I've been wanting to work with this brand. They just make such incredible furniture, and our patio space is just an area that I really, you know, wanted to get together pretty quickly. We have a little bit of patio furniture here, but it's just way too small. It's not gonna fit the area actually best because we do have quite a big outdoor space, and for both of us that was just really important that we had a really great functional cozy space when we have people over and stuff like that. We can really enjoy being outside and sitting on our front porch. So like literally such great news too on top of like everything else. So I'm trying to figure out, I think I'm gonna kind of sit here and start ordering things for the home. I really wanted to wait until things were like officially official until I like just went ahead and started buying a ton of things. So gonna start ordering that. Obviously gonna go through the catalog with this brand and see some of the items that I would love to feature. We're probably gonna go back over tonight and then sometime this weekend for sure, doing a little bit of cleaning. It definitely has signs that like been getting work done. There's just kind of like a little bit of like dirt and stuff all over the floors, and so it's just always good to clean a new house anyway. But yeah, we're definitely gonna go over there and clean a little bit and then bring some of these bins over that I've packed and everything like that. But just I feel like it's just been good news after good news and such a fun, exciting day. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and supporting. Make sure that if you are not already, subscribe and like this video. I cannot wait to share more home content, take you along on this journey. I've got so many things in store that I cannot wait to share with you.